Hello, it's Mr. Eric again. This is going to be the last part of this lesson of the A, D, and E version of Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can hear what I'm doing. But anyway, in the last lesson we learned how to take this and with a few simple movements make it into this. Now we're going to go to the chorus, which is also the introduction, and we're going to do the same thing. Now you need to get comfortable with the last lesson, which showed how to fancy up the main body of the song, and get very comfortable with that before you come to this, because this lesson is going to use the same chords that you learned for that lesson, as well as some of the same finger movements to fancy it up, just with a few extras. Now here is how you've learned the introduction so far. D, A, D, D, A. And that lines you up for going into the next verse of the main body of the song, because you're already on A. But the way we're going to do the D this time, instead of starting off by lifting fingers, we're going to have our regular D with this ring finger anchoring us in on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret. But this time, instead of taking fingers off, we're going to actually add a finger by taking this little finger, putting it on the 1st string at the 3rd fret. So it'll be right next to your ring finger. That's a lot easier to learn than learning a D. If you're at the point where you already know how to make a D and can easily go into a D, this is going to be very simple, because now all you have to do is learn how to put that little finger in there too. And once again, just so you remember, I'm not going to show you the strumming techniques, because you'll figure those out on your own. I know music teachers that teach the strumming technique, and it is important that you learn it, but I find that when I was trying to teach myself strumming by looking at a book or looking at a video, it just was, I couldn't understand it, couldn't do it. But you eventually get a feel for it. If you get comfortable with moving your fingers around up here on the neck, then your strumming will just automatically become comfortable as well. So here we are, we're at the D. And see what we did? We lifted those fingers again. This time I did a little different. I lifted them backwards, so that I lifted my middle finger, then I lifted my pointing finger. So a D, put the little finger down, lift the little finger up, lift the middle finger up, lift the pointing finger up, go right into your A, lift the A off, and then here's another one we're going to add in. We're going to take our ring finger and hit that 2nd string at the 3rd fret, just like we did with our little finger on the D. We're going to use our ring finger on this A. So we're making an A. While the A is anchored, we take our ring finger and hit that 2nd string, 3rd fret. Then go into the E. Go back to a D, then back to the A. So when we're doing our A, here's some of the movements we're going to add. A, lift the finger completely off. And you don't really have to lift it that far, but as playing, you just need to know that's what's happening. A, open, A, ring finger, down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then E. And that's also how you can get kind of fancy. And this is not really appropriate for the song, but I just by habit do it. It actually makes the song not sound like John Fogerty's version, but just like Eric's version, which that's okay with me too. So you're starting off again, D, little finger down, little finger up, middle finger up, pointing finger up, go to the A, and then incorporate our ring finger on the second string, third fret, take it off, take the whole thing off. That's what you need to practice. You need to practice each chord on its own and get a feel for what you're doing and understanding what you're doing. Then just go back to playing the chord progression as is necessary for this song. And this isn't, I'm not teaching you this to teach you this song. These movements are used by a lot of all guitarists, most guitarists, in a lot of different songs. So if you learn how to do this, that'll come up in 100 other songs. When you're playing and you see an A on the page, as you get better, you'll in your mind automatically know that this A sounds like that, but you can dress it up with these other things. So D, little finger down, little finger up, middle finger up, pointing finger up, A, finger up, finger down, ring finger down on the second string, third fret, up. I don't know if you can see this. I don't want to explain every single movement, but I guess I should. So up, ring finger back down, ring finger up, whole finger up, pointing finger down again, and then right into the E. And you don't really need to do that. The E's, at this point, for all practical purposes, you should just leave the E alone. Well, there is one thing you could do. While you're anchoring your E with the two fingers that are on the second fret, your pointing finger, you could actually take it off and put it back in. So now we've taken the song from now we're doing this. And as time goes on, you'll learn that every chord has got easy movements to change the chord, change the voicing of the chord. In fact, it's no longer, when you're doing this A and you put a finger down, that's no longer an A, that's an A suspended seventh, I think. And when you take your finger off, you're not an A there either. That's actually called a G12 or G11 or something like that. And the same thing with when you do this D. This is a D suspended fourth, I think, something of that nature, some kind of suspended something. And those are useful. I mean, it's a different voicing that you'll hear. It's just a nuance that's in a song that somebody just threw in there. It's not going to be on the paper. Sometimes it is. For some songs, it's so important that they actually write that down. But you're not really going to be stuck to what's on a piece of paper if you're playing a song. I hope you got that figured out. I hope that helped you.